Oh, hey, people of the internet. How are you? I hope you're amazing. When you join, say hello. Let me know that you're tuning in. And obviously, if you're on the replay, say hashtag replay because I really believe in these tools as a tool of connection. And if you don't say hi, if you don't say hello, if you don't let me know that you're here, I can't connect with you. And that defeats the whole purpose of these platforms. And yeah. So I wanted to come on. If you've never met me, my name is Colleen Gallagher. I own an online coaching and education company. Joe Ignam is on the line. What? We have someone on the line. That is just my favorite person. Hello. I know that should be like my actual like branding, the unicorn girl. I'm just kidding. But hey, Andreas, how are you? So when you guys join, say hello. I'm on two platforms where I'm two. So if you see me looking between two devices, that's why. I just finished a beautiful writing session for my PhD, and it always makes me feel like so confident and so good, and so profound when what's this called? When I like do something, when I like finish, when you produce, like when you're sitting down, you're like, I say I'm going to do something and I'm going to produce it and I'm going to do it. And I just feel so confident. So I wanted to come on though and share something about frustration. So I wanted to talk about just feeling frustrated and feeling like feeling like things aren't working out. And what do we do when that happens? So my life, I feel like the past 2 weeks I've had like this roller coaster of many things with friends, with relationships, with business, with clients, with my creations, like everything I just feel like has been like a high and then it's been like a low, or it's kind of been like going through these motions. And at times it can feel frustrating of like, why is so much happening so quickly? And it almost feels like I can never breathe. It almost feels like I can never catch up. It almost feels like nothing's ever working. And so I wanted to talk about this frustration piece because no matter what in life, nothing's going to be perfect. Nothing's going to work out perfect. Nothing's going to be perfect. And for those of us, hey James, happy you're here. For those of us you're similar to me, we're perfectionists. We want everything to be perfect. We have this super high standard for how we want to be perceived and how we are. And we have this super high standard of how we expect people to be around us. And that can obviously lead to frustration because if we are not, let's say if we're having emotional highs and lows for whatever reason, maybe it's career loss, maybe it's the loss of a relationship, maybe it's fighting with friends or family, but we have this like emotional wave that is somehow allowing us to not operate at peak performance. We get really frustrated. And that frustration oozes out in many ways, like in anger or, I don't know, excessive partying or, like obsessively avoiding doing things we know we should do because we're like spiraling in our own mind about a million things like anxiety or how the future is going to look or whatever that it is. So I wanted to come on and I wanted to talk about this thing of frustration because I feel like with my PhD, right, my dissertation, I at times can feel very frustrated, maybe that I want to be further along, or maybe there's, I don't know, a million things that are happening in my mind. But I guess the important key that I wanted to share here is that you're always going to feel frustrated when you're taking yourself outside the present moment. So like example, like instead of being like, oh my gosh, I'm so grateful. I just finished these new pages. I got a new graph that I had for my dissertation. I had like a bunch of things that I did that I was able to produce and get done. Any time that we are sitting there like, I'm not where I want to be, my money's not where I want it to be, my business, my clients, my career, it's not where I want it to be. Like we start going that way. It's because we're not producing. Because when we're actually producing, when we're actually working, this person is being blocked. Hold on. Block. Okay. So when you're actually producing, when you're actually creating, when you're actually moving towards your destiny, moving towards who you're meant to become, you don't have time for frustration. You don't have time to get lost in like these other, I don't know, false illusions of what's happening because you're so busy producing and creating the life that you want to live. You're so busy producing and creating the things that make you happy and joyous. So I wanted to just come on. No, not you, Joe. I wanted just to come on. It was actually really quick because one of the courses that I'm launching, if you guys haven't seen, is called the Pleasure Codes, where it's taking pain and turning into pleasure. So it's taking something like frustration where you feel like you're not getting where you want to go. You feel like you're not further, you feel like you should be further in your life than you are, and you're feeling frustrated. Like, how do you turn that to pleasure? And the code is like, you have to begin to produce. You have to begin to create. You have to begin to take action. You can't just sit and fondle in your own mind. And it's so hard because we can be paralyzed by our mind. But it's like, you have to speak life into yourself. You have to speak wisdom into yourself. You have to like speak belief into why you want a better life into you. And when you do that, that's going to begin to get you momentum into acting where you want to go. So that's one. Two, the second thing that I wanted to share that I feel like is really important. So I just announced it today, well, a few hours ago, which I'm super excited about. But I'm opening 2 one-on-one coaching spots with myself, which is amazing. And I wanted to open this because I often look at my life and I see how am I willing to create so many products or services? And then I have like product development and service development, product line, like having different lines of relationships, new age spirituality, digital marketing and sales, like having one thing and then having a journey that customers can go on. How do I create photos that goes with content? How do I reuse it? How do I create launch plans? How do I create marketing plans? How do I create conversations and relationship building interactions with my content organically? And how do I create a funnel? So like a funnel is how do you know where are you offering value from that? How is your first customer going to pay you for customer acquisition? Then what's your like sell point? What's your community building? Like what's the longevity and sustainability of someone doing this in your life? So anyway, I've been very good at doing this, and I feel like I don't often communicate, this is what I support my clients with, and this is what allows you to create freedom with emotional freedom, financial freedom. It's what allows you to have a brand that works when you're sleeping. It's what allows you to get paid before you get out of bed. It's what allows you to live a beautiful life. It's what allows you to be out partying if you want, wake up the next day early or sleep in the next day. Like, it's because you have these systems and processes in place of how a brand runs, of how your products are working for you, are working for your clients, how your clients are communicating and talking about you and experiencing transformation without you being there. So the other thing I want to talk about is, if you're frustrated that your business or your coaching business or your healing modalities or your whatever your thing is, comedy, music, art, artist, whatever's not working, you feel like you're trying and it's not working, it's because you have not yet implemented the correct systems and processes in your life that are allowing you to fluctuate as a lifestyle, as a person that lives a life, as a whole being that adds to everything you're doing, that every conversation, every person you meet, every handshake, every hello, like it adds to the essence of everything you're doing. And so anyway, frustration can come, what I said, of 2 reasons. One, when you're sitting there dwelling your own thoughts, you're not taking action, like sometimes I was doing with my dissertation. 2, the next thing that I feel like that I really want to share of what's causing frustration is you don't have the correct systems and processes, and you're not putting yourself around someone like myself, investing in a coach or mentor who's done it to support you in doing it. And no, these services are not free. It's funny, like I don't know, like I feel we get nervous. We think like, oh, I'll drop money on a car, I'll drop money on gas, or I'll drop money on whatever, but I'm not going to invest it into myself. And like, your education is your greatest success, and the best education you're ever going to get is learning from people who have done it before. Like, even though I love academia, trust me, there's nothing, my deepest growth has always happened from learning from people who have done it before me. Getting around people, being in their energy, having 24/7 access to them, weekly calls with them, like really getting in that energy of them. So anyway, if you're feeling frustrated, the 2 things I would recommend for you to take an action on is, 1, message me pleasure codes. So just comment below or message me pleasure codes. And this is where we have 18 codes where I teach you like frustration, I teach you anxiety, I teach you conflict management. Let me think what else there is. There's jealousy. I have all these different codes that I've come up with that cause us pain, and how do we alchemize it into pleasure almost instantly, like what I just talked about, frustration with my PhD, and came on here and I'm like, yay! That. And then the second one is I'm taking 2 one-on-one clients, and the one-on-one client is for you, is if you know you are here to build a legacy, you know you are here to live a life of freedom, you know you're here to make money every day, you know that you are here to have $10,000 months easily, maybe more than that, 20,000, 30,000. Like, you know that it's meant to be easy. You know that you're meant to impact people's lives. You know you're meant to influence. You know you're meant to make money doing it. But you need the support in marketing and branding, product and service development, customer journey, being accountable to do it consistently. So that one you can just message me one-on-one because there's 2 spots that are open. Or the other one is a group course, which is the pleasure codes, and that starts on February 17th, which is where I said 18 codes. It's recorded modules. I have 18 of them, like jealousy, frustration, heartbreak, arguments, conflict resolution, being nervous of money management, being nervous of sales conversations. Like I have all these codes and I teach you how to take these painful things, rejection, failure, and turn it into pleasure. Because when you live your life from pleasure, when you live your life from desire, when you live your life from joy, so much more comes to you quicker, faster, and more beautifully. So you have 18 recorded pleasure code or pain to pleasure codes, 6 group calls with me. So we go through embodiment practices, real life examples with other people that you can see like you're not alone in your feelings, you're not alone in your suffering, you're not alone in what you're going through. And then that's every call for a week for 6 weeks, and then you get 24/7 access to me. So for all 6 weeks at a really amazing investment. Like it's really an incredible opportunity. If you are committed to living with pleasure, you're ready to live with pleasure. You're ready to be around other people who are drawing a motherfucking line in the sand and being like, I'm not living a life of pain and drama anymore. I'm living with pleasure. So this is for you. I'm thrilled. I'm excited. And just message me pleasure codes or one-on-one. And if this served you, please share it. I love you. Have a good night.